Hello, this is from Milwaukee to Nashville. I'm Daniel Goodman. This is Christopher Draves, and that is my phone going off. And apparently, you suck. Fault.
Anyways, breaking news: Admiral
Trade. Preds traded for
traded.
Preds traded their 2021 seventh round pick for Connor Ingram, who has a lot of upside for a young goalie.
He's spent time in the Syracuse Crunch organization.
He's currently 22 years. He is currently 22 years old, drafted in 2016 in the third round. So he was drafted in the third round in 2016. And in 2017, he played his first year with the Crunch and split time with the Adirondack Thunder. And then he spent time with the Wing and the Crunch and the Solar Bears all in one season.
So he's still young, and hey, somebody listen to us. We need goalies, and they're trying to get us goalies. We need goalies, like desperately. We need goalies.
I actually said earlier this season that we needed to get younger, somebody to push Roy for the starting position.
And they answered that because this kid's young. He is, ain't he?
Yes. If you haven't noticed, the reason I was wearing the hat backwards, right here.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm like,
Daniel's slow today. He wasn't expecting breaking news. Neither was I, actually. But I broke it on our Twitter page, and word on the grapevine is he wanted to do a video. So I'm ready. Let's do it.
There's enough to talk about with that. We could break down the top 31 picks, which 31 top 31 prospects. Not
we'll
top
be doing
31
that
picks.
on this video as well.
Because just because you're a top 31 prospect doesn't mean you're going to get drafted in the first round.
And also don't mean you're going to be good, because it could be all hype.
Anyway, much to the
you almost let
I said chagrin. I was going to say chagrin of hockey fans. He is a former Humboldt Bronco. He played
an unfortunate team. It's still sad.
He played for them in 2012-2013. He played 12 games, 2.98 goals against. He also played 8 games in the playoffs for them with 2.25 goals against. This year for the Syracuse Crunch, he had 22 games played, a 2.26 goals against with a .922 save percentage.
He's essentially a backup from Syracuse, but they must have had a log jam in their system.
They have for the last few years.
Yeah.
And he's labeled according to the video game, their most recent update.
Well, who's Tampa Bay got at starter?
Andre Vasilevsky.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. So, yeah, exactly. They're kind of
And then they have Louis Domingue under him, and then they have Peter Budaj.
So, yeah, they have a log jam in Tampa Bay at the goalie position. We need that log jam here in our system, because our system's like bone dry. After Saros and Grosnick, that's it.
So, adding in that, he played, like I said, he played 22 games for the Syracuse Crunch with a 2.26 goals against.
I thought he was with LA, or did they do a trade?
They did a trade earlier in the season. Anyway, it was he played 22 games with 2.26 with a .922 save percentage, which is actually solid for a young goalie. And then he played in the ECHL 13 games with a 2.81 goals against and a .914 save percentage. But you can't really expect much defense out of a league that's a lot of fighting.
Yeah, ECHL, yeah.
Anyway, he also played 10 playoff games for the Orlando Solar Bears, and he had a 1.94 save percentage.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the goals against average, the goals against average, it's really hard to gauge, because if you're not getting defense in front of you, you're going to face an abnormal amount of shots. So your defense could be the one causing your GAA to go up, correct?
Correct.
The save percentage we should really be focusing on.
So this season alone for him is a contract year. He would still consider to be a restricted free agent.
That would be an RFA for those of you keeping track at home.
So to think about it, after this season, I could see Troy signing an AHL deal with Milwaukee. For more long term, like a year.
I think he likes it here because it's close to his family, because he is from Brookfield after all.
Yeah, so that would help him.
I'd have no issue with it. He's a really good goalie for us.
And it would be a good locker room leader and a good helper. As far as that, I saw a lot of work between him and he had good chemistry with McCollum. He seemed like a really good locker room guy. So
McCollum seemed like a good locker room guy too, but yeah.
So I just can't go any more into the stats there. His contract is worth $759,000.
That's dirt cheap.
So
he'd probably be a backup Detroit, or we'd have a platoon situation here in Milwaukee.
Yep, which would be nice.
Get bumped down to the ECHL. That's where our draft picks will probably end up if he starts playing like garbage. Correct.
So on that note, he also played.
His KHL stuff.
So the Predators have let go of Karl Veljamelka. The June 1st deadline was all they had for him. Obviously, he did not sign, so he became a free agent. He's just going to stay over there.
So Veljamelka is no longer in the fold.
Nope, no longer in the fold.
But now we have this guy, so he's basically filling in.
Correct. I know where those stats came from. Elite prospect.
Yeah. What website is this currently?
This is on the Forecheck Nashville. And in the World Juniors Canada in 2017, guess who he backed up for? Carter Hart.
And where is he now?
Playing in the NHL.
What?
Philadelphia.
Just trying to get you to say the Gritties. I would have settled for the Gritties. I'm trying to get
you to
say Gritty.
Matt Hiskinen plays for the Gritties.
The Gritties are Philadelphia, buddy. The Philadelphia Flyer mascot is Gritty. Don't get into this argument.
Okay, so here's some of the stuff that they said about him. His eye test skills are very good. He has a good side-to-side movement. He is 6'2".
He's 6'2".
Oh, no, the page stopped responding.
Oh. Well, keep speaking even though the video's being janky.
All right, so his contract is he has 1 year left in his entry-level contract, which he'll be getting paid about $70,000 in the AHL. He would be a restricted free agent, so the Predators would have the rights to him for the next calendar, 2-3 years. So there's that part of it all. That does help.
Yeah, I doubt this video is going to be super long.
I'm working on the Elite Prospect Draft Center right now. All right, so Elite Prospect, this is McKean's Hockey Top 31 Final Ranking. All right, so you got Jack Hughes and Capo Caco in the top two.
Yeah, they're going to be the top two no matter where you look.
And then they have number 3 as Bowen Byram, who had 71 points in the WHL last season. He is kind of a physical hockey player, but,
Yeah.
And then you have Kirby Doc, who had 73 points, 25 goals, 48 assists. Dylan Cousin, same thing in the WHL. The WHL is pumping out good hockey players left and right.
Well, I want to say good, but serviceable. There's a difference between good and serviceable.
McDavid.
We'll see. He's only had one good year in his career so far. If you think about it, I think he finally got beaten down by the hype.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong, Connor. Prove me wrong.
And then you have Trevor Zingras, who plays wing or center. He had 87 points, 26 goals, 61 assists. Also, Alex Turcotte, same team, 62 points, 27 goals, 35 assists. Then you have Peyton Krebs, who had an injury year. He missed about 5 games or so.
Really? Only?
Yeah. But the injury plagued him all season. So he had
what kind of injury was it?
Shoulder.
Yeah, that would hinder your ability to do anything besides skate.
He had 68 points even with the shoulder injury, with 49 assists and 19 goals. And then you had Philip Broberg. He plays for AIK in the Swedish Elite League. Well, what used to be the Swedish.
He played 41 games. He only had 2 goals, 7 assists. Yeah.
And then you had Victor Soderstrom. Sorry,
you're so used to saying Soderberg. I know.
Soderstrom, and he played 44 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, and 7 points. And then you have Vasily Podkolzin. He played in 14 games, 2 goals, 3 assists.
Hey, am I the only one hoping for like a big draft day, like shocker, like nobody sees it coming?
Yeah. After that,
you're not even going to dignify that with a response?
I am. I'm like, I don't know what to say, because right now the only draft day shocker I could think of is a big defenseman moving, or the people who are trying to trade.
What are you at least hoping for? Like who? Like what, in your opinion, would be a good shot? I would say if PK got traded, that would be a huge shock.
Actually, my shock would be to see him not traded.
How would that be a shock to not see him traded?
The fans are calling for his head.
Do I need to rip the fans again? Have you not heard me bashing the fan base?
I'm not.
We got in trouble for me bashing the fan base. Yeah, my mouth gets us into trouble. My bad. It's America. Well, anyways, yeah, I'd be shocked if they let PK go.
Anyway,
trying to engage in conversation, and you're just trying to blow it off. Gotcha. Looks like I'm the only one enthusiastic about being on camera today.
Anyway, the Predators should not re-sign Wayne Simmons. This was about a week ago.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's going to happen. Hell, you and me even talked about how we don't think he's
Don't got to get into that. We've already been down that road.
Yeah.
Why is that out there?
I don't know. It's your computer.
Anyway, the Predators draft 24th. The thing that they might do is take a young hockey player named Igor Afanasev. He is 18 years old, 6'4", center from Russia. He currently plays in the U.S., and he used to be a teammate of Joachim Kondelik. And to add, Joachim Kondelik is 6'6", and add 2 top big centers, that'd be very helpful. He had 27 goals, 35 assists with a plus 24 rating. In the playoffs, he had 2 goals, 4 assists. He plays for the Muskegon Lumberjacks,
who are currently following me on Twitter. My personal page, not the. Hey, you're the one that said the Muskegon Lumberjacks. They're following me on Twitter.
Correct. So that's all I have for this show. I don't have much more. We will break more news as it comes to us.
What other shockers would you like? What would be the most What are the most shocking moves?
Yossi.
Via trade? Or
yeah, Yossi being traded.
To who in particular?
Period.
So keeping PK and trading Yossi would be 2 shockers for you?
Yes.
What if they trade PK, keep Simmons? Hey, I'm just trying to engage in some draft talk because the draft is next week. So
I have a hockey stick. Please don't make me use it.
Well, I was seeing how we're going to be covering the rest of the league periodically. Like, what other moves, like another team?
Actually, that Matt Niskin and Radko Gudas trade.
We should be able to talk about that on this episode because it did just happen this morning.
It confused me because it was a straight-up trade, and Hiskinen's a really good hockey player. You gave him up for basically a grinder.
Hey, sometimes that's what you need in hockey, a grinder.
But you gave up
Robert,
one of the top shot defensemen in the league.
Not every GM's smart. We know this. Look at the GM in Minnesota. Is that guy smart?
Yes, he's a genius.
Really?
Yeah.
Elaborate to me how the GM of the Minnesota Wild is a genius. Elaborate. And okay. I'm a Wild fan. I want to hear this coming from a Predator fan.
Okay.
How is our GM a genius?
Okay, so you basically got Fiala and moved out from under a $5 million contract.
Well, we got rid of Granlund. He was one of our best players.
But Granlund's in his prime. Fiala has
Well, you keep him. Don't get rid of him when he's in his prime.
Because they don't know that, like
he didn't even get a lot for him.
They're not going to. They were never gonna.
Get rid of him. Utilize him. He was the only one contributing.
Because you have a guy in Fiala, you can pay $2 million instead of paying Granlund $5 million and still get the same production.
Yeah, but who's going to play longer, Fiala or Granlund?
Fiala, he's younger. Fiala's younger.
Really? I thought Granlund
Fiala came into the AHL at 18.
Yeah, but
you're like I stand corrected.
But from a business standpoint, thank you. Yeah, from a business standpoint, yeah. But how else is our GM a genius?
Because from what point I've seen is he's trying to get Suter and Parise to waive their no-trade clause.
Yeah, but those guys are still under contract for how many more years?
Yeah, I know. But
it's too young to be trying to dump that.
They're both 30+. They're both in the mid-30s.
Well, I'm not talking age. I'm talking about how many years left on their deal do they currently got. Because
5. 5.
Well, there you go. You're not going to be able to dump them. You're kind of stuck with them. And you just got to work around it, don't you?
Yeah, but you have to.
Who's going to eat the rest of that 5-year contract if they have X?
A team that's looking to move right now. Get stars right now.
And what teams out there do you think would be a potential trade partner if Minnesota was going to do, say, draft day shocker?
Buffalo.
Because that's what this segment's about.
Buffalo.
Potential draft day shockers.
Buffalo.
So Buffalo would be in the running for, say, Suter?
Yes.
And
I don't see Parise.
Parise?
Parise would be more of like I would say a Nashville thing. Because if you really look at it, not that Nashville could handle his contract. That's the only knock against it. But
does Nashville have pieces that they could move?
Nashville does have stars they can move. They do have young talent and prospects they can move. Not that we want to see these guys go, but they have prospects they can move.
All right. Well, here's a hypothetical. What would the Detroit Red Wings need to do to try to at least improve their situation? Not say make the playoffs, but to improve their situation, because currently Detroit's like floundering towards the bottom of their division. What would they need to do? Yeah, we got to get used to talking about the rest of the league. The time is ours right now. I got all the time in the world today to chat hockey, buddy. We could do a 10-hour video.
It is really tough because they're sitting there on a Marian Hossa contract from 7 years ago.
How many years does he have currently left?
He's retired.
Oh. Okay, so why is that contract still hindered? Well, what's he saying?
Arizona, Edmonton, and Vancouver all trade spots that we could see. LPK for the Wild, for the Preds and for the Wild. Those places you could see a top defenseman going because they are in the market. Now, I am saying that because the only reason I said also to add in Buffalo because Buffalo does have young defensemen.
Yeah,
and they need a veteran.
Buffalo, they're constantly in the top 10 of the draft, so they do got some prospects they could throw around.
And guys like Alex Nylander, who seems to be stuck in the middle of the AHL.
Well, a lot of guys seem to get stuck in the NH or the AHL because there's a log jam at the top.
But there's not a log jam. It's literally he gets to the NHL and he just goes, "Uh-oh, bright lights."
So he gets scared.
Yeah.
He gets stage fright, kind of like the Admirals last season in front of a sold-out crowd.
Except for the fact that we won 2 concert games. We only suck.
Oh.
We won our other 2 concerts.
Okay.
Which, stop doing country nights.
So
I don't mind, actually, to be honest. I love the country nights. But
So, currently, who do you think's going to... All right, what do you think of Ryan O'Reilly getting a Conn Smythe Award this year?
Binghamton should have got it.
But he is... What were they saying? What is he like? The first player to win a Conn Smythe his first year of a new team, or whatever that stat was that I believe it was.
I am going to say this. I'm sick of the firsts already. Last night you had the first time that the Raptors won, and your first Asian basketball player to ever win an NBA championship. Now you have, in the NHL, you have a
St. Louis Blues winning the first ever Stanley Cup in franchise history. Yeah, I made fun of Canada on our Facebook page. Hey, it is what it is. Canada, this is your sport, and you haven't won since '93. You need to get a cup in Canada. But we need a cup in the state of hockey, and you need a cup in the Music City.
And that's the problem they're going to look at, is if you really do look at it, Minnesota's got a choice. Stick to these contracts and be stuck in the middle for the next 10 years.
Well, they're kind of stuck in the middle now.
I know, but do you want to really be stuck?
They were close to making the playoffs this year. They were like one of the first 2 teams out.
But here's the thing.
They were close.
Here's the thing. If you look at it, do you really want to be sitting there looking at it and waiting till the end of the year to find out whether you're in or out?
I hate that situation, but they're in it a lot. But
that's the thing. But they're always also the first team out.
Yeah, but they're used to that situation. And how would they get better?
Firing Bruce Boudreau.
Dude, I've been barking up that tree for like 2 years now.
Bruce Boudreau, as much
horrible. Mike Yeo is a better coach in Minnesota. That's why Minnesota's crap, because they got rid of Mike Yeo.
However, I'm going to argue.
He sucked in St. Louis. Yes, I know. That's why St. Louis got rid of Mike Yeo.
Actually, I was going to crack a joke here and say, if you leave Toronto and go to another team, you win a cup.
So they're like a launch pad for your career? Or they're just like a lucky...
Well, I mean, if you look at it...
lucky, what is that, 4-leaf or a 5-leaf?
Pot leaf clover?
Yeah. They're the lucky pot leaf clover. I like how you said that.
Yeah, because remember how they did that whole joke this year with the Canada legalizing weed, and somebody had made a meme I saw of a Toronto Maple Leafs logo with the pot leaf.
Yeah, why do I got this bad feeling there's going to be some Avalanche fan tripping balls at Avalanche game, and he's going to somehow get onto the ice, slip and fall, and make a Sports Center top 10? Because you know how Colorado did.
The one problem with Dubnyk and getting rid of Dubnyk is Dubnyk has the same thing that Suter and Parise have, and that's a no movement clause.
All right, why am I the only Minnesota Wild fan that believes Dubnyk should go, and yet every other Wild fan likes Dubnyk and they think he should stay? Am I the only Wild fan looking at it objectively that he's not as good as they claim he is?
Well, the other thing,
he's too sporadic. He's not consistent. So I'd have no. Dude, what if the Minnesota Wild get rid of Dubnyk? Because we desperately need a consistent goalie. Because Dubnyk and Stalock, that combination is inconsistent.
The other thing I was going to say is Dubnyk was without half of his the defensemen in front of him for about half of the season.
Well, fine. What about
if you really look at it,
not this past season, but what about 2 years ago? What was the excuse on Doobie? Because this is a consistent.
Done trading Spurgeon.
And what about the year before that? Because remember, dude,
he had a good year
for a long time.
He had a good year that year.
I don't know. Getting bounced. I suppose
it doesn't matter if you get bounced in the first round of the playoffs. You got there.
True. At least he made it to the dance.
I'm saying
maybe he's just hitting a rough stretch, and I'm just getting ready to drop the axe on him like quick. I'm being overreactionary.
And here's the thing, Bobrovsky, they don't have the cap for that at all.
Not to mention,
even if they trade Dubnyk, they still got to eat it.
See, the main reason Bobrovsky wants out of Columbus is because, like I said last night, there's an organizational issue in Columbus.
Yeah, there's an owner issue in Columbus. Now I'm gonna look this up.
Well, that's what organizational issue is. Yeah. See, I'm just trying to chat some hockey because you are planning on doing more coverage of the whole league and not just narrowly doing Nashville and Milwaukee. We're trying to give more content because it's the off season, and that's what content providers do.
Currently, they have $21 million in cap space.
You could easily pick up some nice free agents.
However, you have to pay Kevin Fiala, Pontus Aberg, Joel Eriksson-Ek, Brad Hunt.
I'd say try to re-sign all three, and that'll probably be your only moves. Because I'm pretty sure.
Also, you have to re-sign Nico Sturm, Ryan Donato, and those are going to cost.
Honestly, I think we could do without Donato. I really.
But then you gave up Coyle for nothing. You gave up Charlie Coyle for nothing if you don't sign Donato.
He didn't really contribute that much.
But he also didn't get to play that much.
What do you mean? Donato played significantly toward the end of the year.
Yeah, but they had him mostly in the AHL because they didn't know what to do with it. So here's
Minnesota for you.
Here's the thing. Right now they have 1, 2, 3.
How many guys need to be re-signed, and how many guys are looking at free agents?
Well, I know 2 retired.
And who did that be?
I don't know. They don't have it on here. Their contracts are gone. Anyway, also they need to re-sign Hammond. Andrew Hammond's contract's up. But they have Matt Robeson, Capo Caco, and Derek Barbaru. But you have to re-sign, say, guys like Nate Prosser or Carson Soucy or Louis Belpedio. You let Louis Belpedio go, I'm sorry, I'd have to hit Minnesota's GM in the head with a shovel.
See, I really didn't get to see too much of him because
he's going to be a good defenseman someday. Now, here's where I get a little iffy with their contracts. Dubnyk isn't as big as people think it is. It's only at $4 million.
I'm not saying he's a salary cap liability. It's just his performance. The last 2 years has been kind of gone.
Okay, so remember I said about the Jared Spurgeon deal?
Yeah.
Okay, they're still eating $5 million of that contract.
Yeah, but they were stupid to get rid of him. Seriously, the last year Mike Yeo had in Minnesota, that's when they decided to get rid of and make these dumb decisions. And look at him. None of them is panning out currently. Here's my thing, okay? But let's just talk about their defenseman contracts, okay? Okay.
Jared Spurgeon, 5.1. That's how much they ate of that deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt Dumba, $6 million. Ryan Suter, $7 million.
Yeah, that was
Jonas Brodin, $4.1 million.
That's
Greg Petrine.
That Ryan Suter contract number, that's the one that sticks out the most at the sore thumb.
Okay. And then in your forwards, you have Zach Parise at 7.5.
Which is stupid.
Okay. He is 34 years old.
Yeah, he should be making at least 4.
When his contract is up, he will be 40.
Maybe that's the reason. Try to get him as a lifer, about to retire as a Wild.
Victor Rask, $4 million. Eric Stahl, $4 million.
But Victor Rask is still kind of young, so that's why he's in the $4 million range, which is understandable.
Victor Rask, $4 million. Eric Stahl, 3.2. Mikko Koivu, 5.5 for a almost 40-year-old hockey player.
I mean, at least he had a pay raise because
here's the thing.
Not really doing
here's
much
the thing. Parise, no movement clause. Zucker, modified no movement clause. Mikko Koivu, no movement clause. Ryan Suter, no movement clause. Jared Spurgeon
loves that no movement clause.
Jared Spurgeon, no movement clause. Devin Dubnyk, modified no movement clause. It is restricted to 3 teams. He cannot go to 3 teams. Otherwise, he can be traded.
So, but that's funny though. Like Minnesota's just shelling out that no movement clause
and throwing money while they're at it.
See, so it is a GM and ownership. Maybe they.
But if you look at all these contracts, these are well before their current GM came into the team.
So they were in such dire straits that not even this new guy can solve their issues.
No.
So they're basically going to be screwed for like 10 years. Yay, me! I get a lot of crappy hockey to watch. Woohoo! I like watching crap. I'm being sarcastic, people. All right, I just wanted to dive into like more NHL centric, not just Pred centric. And so, I mean, if you want to talk about a different team, let's see what Detroit could do. Let's play armchair GM with the Red Wings, shall we?
Nah.
Hey, it's hockey. It's the off season. We're grasping at straws to come up with stuff to talk about. Excuse me if this is a topic I want to talk about.
All right, so Detroit has a lot less. Detroit is under the cap penalty for the next decade.
Ouch.
Their cap is at $69 million because of what their original GM put them in the 2000s and early 2010.
Yeah, but I still want to see if you and me could try to alleviate some of that.
Okay, so they do have a lot of picks coming forward.
I sure hope so.
I mean, if you look at this,
they're going to need guys to play for like $5,000 a year.
But like the mistakes they make are Dylan Larkin, $6 million.
Because he's underperformed. And he hasn't been hurt. They can't even use that for an excuse. He's been underperforming and overhyped.
The one that really gets me is Justin Abdelgator at 2.4 or 4.5.
I think that was just a name value pick. Like honestly, I think that was just a name value signing. He has name value. They thought he was going to be great. Because I don't think he was.
Jimmy Howard, $4 million. Jonathan Bernier, $3 million. Those guys, you could have picked up Bernier for 2.5.
Yeah.
You could have picked up Howard for $3. These guys knew that going into the league they'd get paid.
Yeah.
And here's sad. I watched Jimmy Howard play in the AHL.
Yeah.
Hey,
he was with Grand Rapids, wasn't he?
Here's the other thing. Injury reserve pay. Johan Franzen, $3.9 million.
Wait, injured reserve pay? What's that?
That means that the guys had to retire due to injury.
Oh, and they're still getting paid just so the franchise don't look like an a-hole? Gotcha.
Yeah. So Henrik Zetterberg's $6.6 million contract.
But here's the thing. When he was healthy, he was worth it. Because Zetterberg was one of the more productive players in Detroit when he was actually healthy, you know.
This year, they do have a lot of choices to be made as far as their AHL goes.
But crap, they're going to make Grand Rapids even better.
No, actually.
That's like the only thing they can do during a salary cap purgatory for like a decade.
The bad problem about rebuilding is you do have to call up your prospects before they're ready.
Yeah, because you got to test them, you know. Sometimes you got to throw them in the fire and watch them burn a bit.
Like Tyler Bertuzzi, he wasn't ready yet.
Bertuzzi.
Anthony Mantha, I don't think he was ready yet, but I mean, he spent a year in the NHL and made $3 million.
Well, he was actually pretty good considering his team was garbage.
Wait, what? Waverington, okay. I thought they said he was trending down, but okay. Chris Terry, they got all these guys. They got Giovanni Smith, but Axel Holmstrom, Dominic Turgeon, Martin Burke, Dylan Soley, Wade Megan, Joe Higgins, and Lubomir Sulak. Sulak already signed overseas, so count him gone.
Yeah.
Higgins, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Patrick Rebar, he's out of here.
Rybar, but anyways.
Rybar, whatever. I'm going to sell him at a metal shop if I have to. Get it, Rybar?
Yeah, get it.
Rebar. It's a joke. The Firk,
What's going on, Nick? How you doing?
Firk, the man with no vowel.
Yeah. But like I said, yeah, I was just trying to chat a little hockey, try to get our brains into it. Yeah, but the draft next week, also, we're going to be. Hey, we should talk about who after you do what you're going to do. We should look into the current leaders in each award category and discuss who we think should get each award. Seeing how the award show is coming up. Hey, you said you wanted to talk about the awards. Let's try to give our predictions.
Let's not make this as fun as it's going to be, but it is going to be fun.
Are you a secret closet Blackhawk fan?
No, I just want to make fun of it.
Because if you are a Blackhawk fan, me and Rob are going to beat you.
I'm actually gonna make you laugh because when you see this, you're gonna laugh. Okay. So Corey Crawford's making $6 million for the Blackhawks. Colin Delia is gonna make $1 million.
Ouch.
Off his jump first year, he hasn't even played a full season yet.
Ouch.
Eric Gustafson is gonna make $1 million. Connor Murphy's gonna make $3 million. Duncan Keith's going to make 5.5 at 35 years old.
Yeah, he is getting toward the back half.
Brett Seabrook, same thing. He's going to make 6.8.
How old is Seabrook?
36, 34. So he's up there too.
See, the Blackhawks are getting old. I hear Blackhawk fans say I'm being an a-hole, but dude, your team's getting old.
Same thing I'm going to say for Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves. $10.5 million.
It's at toes, but keep going. It's toes.
If we're going to cover the league, we have to be unbiased.
Crap. That's what I've been forgetting about.
That includes when it comes to the Blackhawks. If you're going to talk about the league during that time, we have to be unbiased.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind during the season.
Anyway, the problem they're going to run into is now they have to pay this year Chris Kunitz, Marcus Kruger, Brendan Perlini, David Kempf.
Don't they also have to sign DeBrincat?
They also have to sign Gustav Forling and Cam Ward. Cam Ward's gone. DeBrincat, he has one more year.
Because I thought his contract.
Next year they're going to have to pay him. Next year they're going to have to pay him. And it's going to cost. The same thing with Dylan Strome. It's going to cost. It is not going to come cheap.
Well, let them get burned. At least they won't be burned as bad as the Red Wings are. I don't realize the purgatory the Red Wings were in.
Look at the purgatory they're in.
Oh. Dude, how are these teams,
going into the penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when
Maybe that's what happens when the league doesn't raise their salary cap?
No, by not expanding, the salary cap doesn't go up. The cost of the dollar in Canada is not going up, therefore it's not helping the league any. Oh, he's in Grand Rapids.
Well, enjoy. Because I hear the city is actually not a bad town to visit, but I refuse to root for the Griffins. I'll barbecue a Griffin, but I ain't going to root for them. That's right. You said I have to be unbiased. Well, when you got the Red Wings and salary, what other teams are in purgatory? Because it's kind of fun. So by expanding the league, the salary cap goes up. They can't just raise the salary cap with the teams that are currently in.
Yes. So currently the Maple Leafs are kind of stuck in that purgatory too. They're at 70.
So when Seattle comes into the league, how much would that affect the cap?
$10 million.
Only?
Yeah.
And then
it'll go up for the next 5 years after that. After the initial $10 million, it'll go up by
so what's the current cap at now?
75.
Okay. So it'll go up by 10 when we get Seattle in 2 years.
But it's going up by 3 or 4 this year because they haven't done the Vegas part of it yet. They're not done.
I think what's the holdup?
CBA. Collective bargaining agreement
with
the players'
union. CBA, I know what that is.
With a player union. So
yeah, I know what the CBA is.
So that's what's holding them up. Now,
do they have to? Do you know when they go to negotiate a new CBA?
Right after Seattle comes in that year.
Well, I hope the players' union and the owners cut a better deal because, man, I don't know, man. These teams, they're like getting killed by the cap.
The one thing is with Toronto, I'll at least talk about, is they really screwed up signing Tavares with a no movement clause at $11 million.
No movement. These no trade clauses need to get eliminated. Do NHLers have a guaranteed contract or no?
Yes.
So everything's guaranteed. So even if you get traded, the team that gets rid of you, they're still on the hook for you.
Depending on where you get traded in the season, like the Predators were only on the hook for $2 million of Granlund's contract.
Because that's what I don't like about how some of these contracts are worked. Like if a team doesn't like your production and they want to get rid of you, they still got to pay you even though you're not on the team. That's about as stupid as unemployment, in my opinion.
But it is unemployment for them because they are getting fired.
Yeah, they're getting fired, but they're going to a different team. But the whole reason that you get rid of a player is so you can stop paying them. And yet the stupid... yeah, my head hurts.
Anyway, according to Cap Friendly, Austin Matthews is making $11.634 million.
How?
John Tavares is making $11 million. William Nylander is making $6.9. Patrick Marleau.
How many All-Star games does each of these players have? How many awards?
None of
these guys have?
None of the following have made the All-Star game this year. Jonathan Tavares, $11 million. William Nylander, $6 million, almost $7 million. Just say $7 million as a rough roundup.
Yeah.
Patrick Marleau, $6.2 million. Nemzem Kadri, $4.5 million. Zach Hyman, $2.2 million. Connor Brown, $2.1 million.
Well, if they're making that little and they didn't make the All-Star game, that's fine. But everybody else getting like 11 a year?
Ooh. Okay. As far as this, defenseman, Morgan Riley, $5 million. Nikita Zaitsev, $4.5 million. Frederick Anderson, $5 million. They also are on the hook for Nathan Horton's injury reserve. He had to retire due to injury at $5.3 million for next season. They are also retained salary of $1.1 million of Phil Kessel's contract. What?
Yeah. So my question is, why are GMs signing guys to $11 million a year deals when they know damn well the salary cap blows?
They're hoping it goes up.
And what things cause the salary cap to go up? Like, what are the things?
Inflation in the dollar. Like America has really helped hockey in a weird way because we've been able to make the growth of hockey in America has made the salary cap go up.
Okay.
So over the last couple of years at least, because 2 years ago the salary cap was only at $69 million. 2 years ago. So.
All right, so in theory it's going up, but teams a couple years ago were stupid and decided to sign guys for 11 plus and this, that, and the other.
Yes. Now, with that being said, compared to what McDavid is making, let's check out what Matthews is making. Let's check out what McDavid is making.
Well, McDavid actually gets to the All-Star game, even though Edmonton sucks.
All right, Edmonton is, they have $9 million in cap space currently.
So they're in better position than a lot of these teams.
They do have their first-round pick, but McDavid's making $12.5. Leon Draisaitl, $8.5. Milan Lucic, $6 million. He is so not worth that $6 million.
No, he should be making between 4 and 5.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, $6 million. He's still young, so there's still upside.
Yeah, but I still think he's
Sam Gagner is making 3.1. That's not cool with me. Andre Sekera, he's making 5.5. That's not. That's too much. Oscar Klefbom, 4.1. That's okay. Adam Larson, 4.1. You could have got him for about 3.1. Chris Russell, $4 million. Could have got him around 3.5, 3. Darnell Nurse, actually, I'd have paid him $4 million. Brandon Manning, he's making 2.2. That's about where he should be. Joel Person, he is making $1 million. Alex Petrovic and Kevin Gravel are your free agents there, but this is going to be a tough offseason for them.
Yeah, because McDavid, how many All-Star games has you been on? There has to be some sort of production being accomplished to necessitate him making as much as he gets per year.
Ouch. 1 second. Regarding that, their goaltender is making $4.1 million.
Who's Edmonton's goalie?
Mikko Koskinen.
Oh.
I'll pull him up. Cap friendly. Holy crap, dude's tall. Dude's huge. He'd make you feel short.
Yeah, holy crap.
He's like the Zdeno Chara of goalies.
Yeah.
He'd make Pekka look short.
Yeah, Pekka's a pretty tall player.
He's 6'5".
Yeah.
Their goalie's 6'7". They also have a buyout. Benoit Pouliot at 1.3. They had to eat that, even though 72 days later he signed with Buffalo.
So they're still on the hook.
Yep. Eric Graba for 3.3.
Was that you or me?
Me, that problem we talked about earlier, I may have to talk to you about doing me a favor later. So we'll get to that.
Okay, so eventually we'll end up wrapping this.
Yes.
Like I said, I just wanted to dive into like some of the
Any
stuff.
other team you're curious about? Because like we've all talked about it. I know Tampa Bay may be in trouble eventually.
Why not? Let's hit up Tampa Bay. This will be the last team.
I have a couple.
I'm just trying to get us both used to like studying other teams because this year we're going to be covering more than just the Predators and Admirals. Because we're not directly affiliated. Yeah, that's another thing I want to make abundantly clear. We are not directly affiliated with the Milwaukee Admirals. We are not paid by them. We are completely independent. No, we cannot get you discounts because we are not employees of the Milwaukee Admirals. We are not employees of anyone. This is our own personal business that we started. We're trying our best to find sponsorships. So I just wanted to answer that question because that came into my that was an issue that we had to encounter.
Yeah, that was an issue I encountered.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to make that abundantly clear. We are not on the payroll of the Admirals.
We cover those two. Okay, look at this. Let's make it easy for you. We are dedicated to the Admirals and Predators as far as their coverage. However, we will do once a week a cover breakdown of the league. That is all we're trying to do.
Depending on how much league news, we might do 2, depending.
Yes, like if it's something massive, like Ovechkin gets traded, of course we're going live.
Or like if he suffers a severe neck injury and he's paralyzed or something horrible.
Or something bad happens in the hockey world, of course we're going to talk about it. Or
today,
good.
Like today, a trade inspired us to do a video.
So moving forward with Tampa Bay, I'm a little iffy on because Nikita Kucherov is making 9.5, well, about where he should be.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Kucherov is worth that money.
Stamkos, same thing at 8.5. He's still 20.
Stamkos is starting to drop off, though.
But he's 29.
But he's slowly dropping off. If you look at the grand scheme of things,
but by the time his contract is up in 23, by the time his contract's up in 24, 25, they will be able to get him for cheaper.
I sure hope.
Ryan Callahan, 5.8. That's an overpayment. Andre Pouliot, 5.3. It's all right. JT Miller, however, does not deserve that 5.25. Yanni Gord, 5.1. Really? With a no trade clause. Holy crud, look at the no trade clause. The only guy without a no trade clause is Nikita Kucherov.
Because he's smart. No,
Nikita Kucherov is, well, you don't need who cares about a no trade clause when you're signed through
the 25-26 season, maybe further?
I'm trying to scroll over it.
Well, we'll just say he's signed on for at least another decade, damn near.
And he's 25 years old, so
he'll be like 30, 35 by the time he's actually.
But this year they have to sign Braden Point, who is one of their top point getters, Cedric Paquette, who's one of their top enforcers. On the UFA, oh good God, Braden Coburn, it's going to cost them about $4 million.
Yeah.
Dan Girardi, that's going to cost them about another $3 million. Anton Stroman, that's going to cost them about $5 million. Vasilevsky and Domingue, that's going to be okay. Apparently, Vinny Lecavalier, they owe him until, well, forever.
Yeah, but I think he's just about at the end of his.
He is done. He's well retired. They owe him. They signed him to a $100 million contract and then bought him out. Within like weeks of signing it. Matthew Carlisle, same thing. Signed him to a big deal, bought him out.
But they're not in a horrible cap shape though.
They are actually. They only have $8 million in cap space, which is less than what the Preds have.
But they also have a lot of young guys that are under control, so they don't really have the necessity currently to go on a spending spree. Like, do they have any direct needs that would force them to have to spend?
They have to keep that team together.
Yeah,
and that's going to cost them.
Well, hey,
in the long run,
if that's the NHL for you, every team's in cap purgatory, damn near, and that's not a good thing. That's why the salary cap should go up more. What other contributing factors go into the cap being raised outside of expansion and inflation?
Not much, but it is kind of funny because
what about TV contracts?
That stuff does affect it, but it all comes down to what the owners agree to. Even though it's a players' league, it's still what the owners agree to because it is a direct.
No. This ain't a players' league. The NHL is not the NBA. The NBA is a players' league. The NHL is an owners' league.
No, the NBA is an owners' league because the owner lifts the trophy first. The players' league is the NHL where the players get the cup first.
Nah, I'd still say that it's the owners' league in the NHL.
The NHL has health insurance. The NBA doesn't.
If NHL players had their way, they'd be getting paid way more than they currently are. The NBA, they're getting paid way more than they should be. See what I'm getting at?
No, the NBA should be getting paid what the NHL
That's
is.
what I'm saying. The NBA is getting paid more than they should.
Sports players are
what I mean by
grossly overpaid.
The players' union has more power in the NBA than the NHL does. Hence the reason the NHL is the owners' league. Because the NHLPA isn't as strong as the NBA.
Anyway.
Like that little hockey debate I'm throwing out there. You know, my brain's not completely empty when it comes to hockey knowledge. I could get in some debates here and there.
There is some good news for you Sabre fans. Matt Molson comes off the books this year.
Like you said, somehow.
That is some good news because that's $6 million off of your AHL books.
All right, so what's their cap looking like there in Buffalo?
Going into free agency, they have $20 million open in cap space.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead, Buffalo. Spend away. Holy crap, dude. 20 mil cap space?
Yeah.
Dude, they could buy like every possible free agent if they wanted to.
Yeah, they have about $20 million in cap space. They have 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, 1 fourth-round pick, 3 sixth-round picks, and a 7th.
Buffalo's winning the cup next year. They have all the ammunition to make it happen. If they don't, it's gross incompetence by the owners of the Sabres. They have so many tools and enough financial resources to make a cup run next year. If Buffalo don't do it, Sabres fans, you should be wearing paper bags on your head.
All right, so Jake McCabe, he's the RFA. He's going to cost them about $3 million.
Got to get Eichel some help, Buffalo. You got all.
Oh, and I was wrong. It wasn't the one wild player. It was Marco Scandella that they traded away.
Yeah.
Carter Hutton.
Scandella wasn't all that great with Minnesota in the first place.
He led their team in block shots for 3 years.
Okay.
With Dubnyk as goalie. So
they had 2 goalies on ice. But you only need one in it. You should only, in theory, have one goalie in the NHL.
Okay, so this year also coming off the books is Billy Leno and Christian Ehrhoff. But you're still on the hook to pay Cody Hodgson for the next 4 years. But it's under $1 million, so you're okay.
Like I said, Buffalo, if you don't win the Cup next year or make a deep playoff run, you should get...
Eichel's making $10 million. Jeff Skinner's making $9 million. You kept your top line intact. You have Sam Reinhart. You have a good setup. If you draft right...
Yeah, if you draft right with all the picks you have, and if you want to spend money right, try to keep some of your core together. Don't go crazy, but try to keep.
That's where I was saying Buffalo may be a player for Nashville for the trade for PK. They have the minor league prospects that the Predators may be interested in at a cheaper price.
So what you're saying is you could be having a Montreal Canadiens Subban sweater and a Buffalo Sabres Subban sweater because you are a Sabre fan, correct?
I am also a PK Subban fan because I like the way he plays.
I just don't have money to be blowing like that.
All right, so on that note, they do have a really, really, really good talented goalie in their wings, and that is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Good God, don't make me say that again.
What, Ristolainen?
No, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That is his name.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
That's a lot of U's, K's, and O's.
Yeah, Luukkonen. Pekka Luukkonen?
Yeah, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Last season, he played in one game for the Rochester Americans. He had a 2.00 goals against and the same percentage of .490. However, he played for the Sudbury Wolves for 53 games and had the same stats. But he didn't do well in the playoffs for them.
Yeah, what's their run time, man?
51.
All right. Oh, crap. All right. Let's try to wrap her up.
So, given that the Sabres are players in the free agency market,
dude, they have enough bullets in the chamber. If they don't make it to at least the conference finals, that'll be a letdown.
I'd say making the playoffs would be a jump. But
dude, with all the stuff that they could make happen,
I'm not saying that the stuff.
Dude, they could literally retool their entire team. Just build completely around.
I would not be surprised to see them grab Bobrovsky, and that'll be a giant help for them.
Yeah, because Sergei Bobrovsky, he just got stuck on a bad team.
Well, a place he was highly unhappy.
Well, Columbus ain't that great, so. Hey, there's Blue Jacket fans that'll say Columbus ain't that great, so.
Speaking of Blue Jackets,
but I do want to go to a Columbus Blue Jacket game because it's easy to get to. You just got to be willing to go to Ohio. And I have no issue with Columbus, Ohio. I thought that was a pretty cool town last year. Wow, it's been almost a year since I've been to Ohio.
Hey, look, it's Teddy Bluka. From Bluka.
Yeah.
For all of you young folks, that was a Young Frankenstein reference.
I've only seen that movie like 2, possibly 3 times.
Good movie. Holy crud.
What's their situation in?
Projected cap space, $32 million.
Ouch. And they got an idiot owner that's making their best goalie want to go bye-bye.
It's actually so bad. Here's this. This is their picks for the next 2 years. No first, no second. They have a third, no fourth, no fifth.
What's the situation look like this year?
In the draft?
Yeah.
No first, no second. They have a third, no fourth, no fifth, no sixth. They have Calgary 7th.
Are you serious? They only get 2 picks in this upcoming draft?
They traded away everything else to get these guys from Ottawa.
No wonder Bobrovsky wants out of there. Dude, I feel bad for Columbus.
Here's how
Columbus fans, jump on board the Predator bandwagon. their owner actually cares and wants to win, unlike your guys' owner.
Anyway,
hey, I jumped on the Predators bandwagon, and it's been fun. I don't recommend a Wild bandwagon, though. I mean, I'm on it for the long haul, but, dude, it's not a good one. So jump on the Predator bandwagon.
Trust me, as a guy who's been on the bubble on that one for like 3 years, for like 5 years, it is a tough bandwagon to be bouncing on and off of.
What?
The Wild bandwagon.
Yeah, I've been on it for about 15
I felt like
years.
I was on that train, and it went over one of those old rickety bridges, rickety bridges with a fucking. Whoops, sorry.
He's been watching Star Wars apparently.
Anyway, it had one of those 90-degree turns, and it just flew me off the train.
Yeah, so jump on the Predator bandwagon.
Anyway, in 2020,
Blue Jacket fans, it'll be fun for you. And Nashville's a nice town, so you'll have incentive to travel to Nashville.
Here's the thing: if
I enjoy Nashville, I want to go back. Have you ever been to Nashville? Because I have, and I want to go back. What are you looking at?
Ouch! Ouch!
Are they telling us to cease and desist? Yeah.
No! Okay, so here's how bad it gets for you, Columbus fans, and I'm not trying to be mean here.
That's what I'm saying. Jump on the Predator bandwagon.
If Columbus is able to pull in Duchesne, they have to give up their 2020 pick.
Why do they have to?
It was conditional. If they don't, they lose their 2021 first-round pick.
Yeah, Columbus fans, jump on board the Predator bandwagon.
So in 2020, they only... Here's the thing. If they re-sign them in 2021, they have a 4th round, a 5th round, a 6th round, and a 7th round pick, but no first. If they don't sign them, they have a first-round pick, but in 2021, they have a 3rd round, a 4th round, a 5th round, and a 6th round pick. The 7th round is conditional of the single signs. Also, the 2020 pick is also conditional. If the single signs, they still get the pick. So even if you don't re-sign Duchesne,
Blue Jacket fans, welcome to the Predator bandwagon.
It is a mess in Columbus.
I encourage you guys to jump on the Predator bandwagon, and while you're at it, pay a visit to Milwaukee. It's a college town, so if you enjoy getting extremely drunk and full of cheese, Milwaukee's your town. Also, we have a pretty good baseball team here, unlike the Cincinnati Reds, and Cleveland Indians, those two teams. Although Cleveland, I guess, is doing pretty good this year.
Anyway, add in this year they have to re-sign all these players.
I'm trying to encourage tourism toward Nashville, Milwaukee.
Yes. I'm trying to finish this segment so we can end the video.
I like sidetracking you. It's what I do.
Anyway, they have to sign Ryan Dzingel. He is a UFA. He would become an unrestricted free agent. Artemi Panarin is also an unrestricted free agent. Matt Duchesne is also an unrestricted free agent. Add in Eric Robinson, Marcus Haskins, and Lucas Sudlak. Sudlak's gone. He went to the KHL. For their defense, they have to pay Zachary Werenski, which is going to cost them this because he's one of the top in the league. And then they got to play Kendenning, Harrington, McQuaid, Murray, and their goal.
The guys in their 30s, I'd say let them go. But the guys that are in their 20s, they can still get some productive years out of, so keep them.
Oh, God, this is going to be a mess in Columbus for their goalies. You have Elvis Merzlikins. You remember him when we played Cleveland and we lit him up for 6 goals?
Yeah.
Anyway, you have Keith Kincaid, who's going to cost you about $4 million. You have Sergei Bobrovsky, which if you want to keep him is going to cost you $10 million
or more, because you really don't like your guy's owner. And personally, Columbus, I don't like your guy's owner either. I feel bad for you guys. I thought the situation in Minnesota was bad. Oof.
Also,
maybe
you have
I
to pay.
Lay off the wild jokes.
Jonas Corposalo is also a free agent, and that's the end year of his RFA, so it is going to cost to keep him, and he is a future star.
What's the free agent? What's their salary cap space looking like?
$32 million in between.
So they got the money to re-sign some of these guys to keep it together, but man, they ain't gonna be able to do squat when it comes to the draft. As far as draft picks go. But Columbus don't even pay attention to the draft. You have nothing worth paying attention to. Just pay attention to free agency.
Well, here's the thing. Panarin already said he's not coming back for anything less than.
He wants to go to Music City or Nashville.
He actually also wants to go to Florida, I've heard.
Yeah, it's a nice little retirement community.
Yeah, and he would sign there. Well, they have the cap room in Florida to give him a nice deal.
Yeah, because don't the Panthers play down in St. Petersburg, I believe?
It's right there in Sunrise. It's right outside of Miami. And then you have Matt Duchene, who said he's also not coming back for anything less than 9 because he doesn't like the owner.
Well, he got the cap. Dude, nobody in Columbus likes the owner. After reading that, dude, nobody in Columbus likes the owner. Dude, if I had the money, I would buy the Blue Jackets just to spare that fan base the crap they're dealing with. I legit feel bad for the Blue Jackets fan base.
Nobody who went there wants to come back for less than 9, and Dzingel already said it's going to cost them about $4 to $5 million to keep him there. And now you add in Zach Werenski, who's an RFA on the end of that deal, and he's going to want to get paid because he made the
All-Star opening up his wound. But hey, it had to happen.
He's going to want at least $6 million. So you're not going to be able to sign either Dzingel, Panarin, or Duchene, and these two are already said they're going to test free agency.
Yeah.
And also added Bobrovsky's testing free agency. Kincaid's going to test free agency because, according to Kincaid, the owner's racist.
But hey, what if the owner does decide to spend? Because, like we just showed, they have a lot of salary cap space.
It's all we'll all see what happens, and it really does depend on what happens in free agency. Now, the real question becomes: the other part that's hurting them is they owe Scott Hartnell $1.25 million.
It's only 1.25
for the next 2 years.
Okay, it's not bad.
But $1 million is.
But come on, don't worry about that. Pay attention to the show.
Well, no, the NHL just popped up.
Oh.
I'm wondering if it's
we might have breaking news, which is a good
thing. No, it was
thing.
About the top 10 games top 10 Stanley Cup games.
Yeah, we don't care currently.
Okay. So they're actually wrapped up in about looks like almost $3 million in cap space between their buyout history. So that's actually bad. I
feel bad for Columbus.
I have not talked about it yet, and that's our primary. I have not really thought about it much. I know we've talked about the Predators in the past about their cap problems, but we haven't gone in depth about it. So we're going to do that to end this video. All right, so they have 7.5 as their projected cap hit. That's meaning that the cap right now is 7.5. The projected cap hit for next year is 7.5. Not this year. Next year is their projected cap hit of 7.5.
Yeah.
Leaving $3 million in cap space open. Okay. So adding that in.
This will be the last bit of cap talk we talk about because I want to get the show done with because I'm getting hungry.
Yes, same. And I have food right there.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger and some Southern nachos.
Have fun, because I got a pizza waiting for me. All
right, so you have Ryan Johansson at $8 million. He is actually worth it the way he facilitates the puck, wins faceoffs.
Yeah,
he's a good leader. Forsberg at $6 million. That's a steal. Kyle Turris at $6 million. I'm unsold because of the injuries, and that's all I got to say with that.
Yeah. Injuries are always going to skew people's opinion on stuff.
But that's where I'm trying to stay unbiased with that because of the injuries this year. And last year, him only spending half a season.
Yeah.
So, and him only playing half the season this year because of injuries. So I'm not going to skew that anymore. Craig Smith, 4.2, overpaid. Arvidsson, 4.25, underpaid. Nick Bonino, 4.1, overpaid. Calle Yardcroc, $2 million. He is about where he should be. Watson at 1.1. That's easy. Salamaki at 7.5. Gaudreau at 666,666. His contract is literally 6666666. He's evil.
The number of the beast.
Anyway, our restricted free agents are Rocco Grimaldi and Colton Sissons. Now
we need to bring them both back.
Zach Ronaldo.
Bye.
Wayne Simmons.
Bye.
Brian Boyle. Please
Bye.
keep him. Keep him. He's a good net front presence with a 6'6" frame. He did well when he got here.
All right, fine. Keep.
Cody McLeod. Bye.
Bye.
Defensemen, they're set. Outside of that $9 million PK contract,
yeah,
6.25.
I hope stays, but I won't be mad if he goes because after all, it is a business. Hey, if that business equals a cup in Smashville, why not? I can't even say
what?
Nashville.
Even with the space they have the cap projected at $83 million.
Yeah.
So they'd have to still dump somebody. The hell?
Why? No. You do that. I'll check. Whatever. Sorry about that, folks. We're just making sure nobody's trying to do any damage to the building we're in.
Yep.
You know, because this is his homestead. Yeah.
Oh, Chris. So that being said, there's that. As far as the minor leagues go, you have DiGiuseppe, who's a UFA or RFA. You could probably keep him.
Yeah. We should.
Justin Kirkland, he's an RFA at 22. He'll probably be back for one more year at least.
Yeah.
Alexander Carrier, all their defensemen they're all pretty good. Tom McCullum's a UFA.
But he'll probably be gone now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to keep 3 goalies in Milwaukee.
We've done it before, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to do it again. I mean, we have a backup for Grosnick. Grosnick's coming back. I think we're good as far as the goalies go. As far as we actually added depth, but I still think they should probably draft another one. And if worst case scenario, we could bump them down to our ECHL affiliate. Right? Because that's the whole point of having an ECHL affiliate, to bump people down there.
All right, so this is the trades for Nashville or Nashville this year.
It's a trade scenario.
All right, so Wayne Simmons, they gave up Hartman and a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
The conditional 4th round pick. If they won the first round of the playoffs, they that first round pick became, or the 3rd round pick, or 4th round pick became a 3rd round pick.
Well, what happens if they got bounced like they did?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That stays a 4th round pick in 2020. All right, Kevin Fiala straight up for Mikael Granlund.
Yeah.
Future considerations for Nicholas Baptiste. The future considerations has still not been met.
Yeah, that's another thing that we have questions about. What's up with that?
Laurent Dauphin and Adam Haluka for Emil Pettersson.
Yeah, I'd say we got the better end of that deal.
Cody McLeod for a 7th round 2020 pick. I'm not so iffy on that. Brian Boyle for a 2019 7th round pick, or 2nd round pick. So this year's 2nd round. Cole Snyder for Connor Brickley. I did like that. That was a lot better. Jack Doherty for Nicholas Baptiste. That was a throwaway. That Ryan Hartman deal. Let's go back to that. All right. So the Ryan Hartman deal, they got Victor Eitzel and a 1st round pick that became Nicholas Boudin and Philip Kucherev. The Predators got Ryan Hartman and Spencer Stastny, which was their 5th round pick of 2018. There was no winner. To be honest, for right now, Chicago looks like the winner. But
Who knows?
I gotta look up Boudin's stats. But then last year also you had Brian Bollig and Troy Grosnick for a 6th round pick. Preds got the better end of that one.
Yeah, because Grosnick's a suitable backup for Saros.
The Predators gave up Mark Letestu for a 4th round pick in 2018 that became Joachim Kondelik. Letestu spent the latter part of this season in the AHL.
Yeah.
And they traded Pontus Aberg for Letestu. The same day, Letestu got traded to Columbus for a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Joachim Kondelik.
Why are we going backwards to like?
I'm just giving a sense of where all this trade stuff's coming from. But this is where we break it down, this big one. That Columbus, or the Colorado, Nashville, Ottawa deal.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right. Colorado from Ottawa got Andrew Hammond, Shane Bauer, a 2019 conditional 1st round pick, 2019 3rd round pick. And then Colorado from Nashville got Vladislav Kamenev and Samuel Girard in a 2018 2nd round pick. And he also got Philip. I can't read that, dude.
What?
Right here, buddy. Wait.
Philip Hollander.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest here.
So Colorado got a lot, and
I'm gonna say this. Where's Hammond? Gone.
Yeah.
Shane Bauer never signed. Gone. The 2019 conditional pick. Ottawa, you chose wrong. The Ottawa had a choice to either keep last year's pick or keep this year's pick. You chose wrong.
Well, in that whole little cluster, Nashville got Kyle Turris from Ottawa.
Colorado.
And Matt Duchene got Ottawa from Colorado. Ottawa got Matt Duchene from Colorado. My bad, too much. Bleh.
Anyway, and then from Colorado, Nashville gave them Vladislav Kamenev and Samuel Girard. And a 2nd round pick, which became Philip Hollander. Now, that's okay as it is. Then going into the trades around July 1st for that, they traded Alexei Emelin. Vegas retained $1 million of that deal. And they got a 3rd round pick in 2019.
Well, anyways, yeah, let's start talking along. I think we should be done with what we needed to cover. Kind of trying to keep our show within an hour. It's probably over that curve.
Believe it or not, if we'd have kept Shea Weber during that PK Subban trade, we probably wouldn't be sitting here in this financial issue. Ask your mother.
All right, let's wrap the show because, as you see.
All right, so Nicholas Beldoon, he is currently a defenseman making $1 million a season in your rookie contract. Way to go, Chicago. You're really messing up your cap space. Where the Predators in that deal ended up walking away with Joachim Kondelik, who is a 6'7" center from Hanover, Germany, who is Swedish, or no, he's Czech. He's a Czech player from Hanover, Germany, who plays junior hockey in the U.S. Boy.
Yeah, that kid likes to travel.
That is enough of this. Thank you. This has been From Milwaukee to Nashville. I'm David.
We'll see you sometime next week.
We'll see you Wednesday?
Oh, yeah, Wednesday. For the awards.
Barring no more breaking news.
Yeah, even though we forgot to give our predictions for the awards.
We'll do that.
We'll do that maybe. We'll do that sometime before Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I'm your co-host, Christopher Draves. That's our host, Daniel Goodman. We'll see you guys later. yeah,